now in. So thank you for waiting for us, and we have set up fully. So tonight's topic is uncovering the logic of resale property trends, because we cover quite a lot of big macro things about resilience, about the market, about supply and demand. So now we want to touch base on more of the resale market, because many of us own a property for own stay, and then how's it going to pan out? You might be thinking of buying something for the resale market in the next couple of months to next couple of years, or you may already be residing in something. So Kelvin have prepared a lot of research tonight. So it's a bit more heavy on data today. So I seek your understanding that we might run into the 70 minutes for tonight's segment. Any question, please post it into the question and answer, and we'll do our best to pick up the question and answer. Even it may be a scenario based, it may be your own situation. We are more than happy to do it for you if it helps. Okay, without much further ado, I'm going to just invite Kelvin to center stage and then start his screen share and put him up front. Let me bring Kelvin to center stage. All right, Kelvin, you're on. Good evening. Thank you, Kelvin, for being here tonight with us. Can you test your microphone?
Hello, testing. Can you hear me?
I think it's quite clear. Let me see my volume. Okay, for those of you that may be hearing it a bit soft, you can try to turn up your volume. Otherwise, you put it into the chat box. We'll adjust later on. Thank you, Kelvin. The time is yours. Thank you for tonight.
All right. Very good evening to every one of you here. We're going to start I'm going to start now at the end of the day here. But so fast, we are coming to almost another 2 more weeks. We're going to finish our lockdown. I hope that this time around, 1st of June, will be officially that we can really go out and maybe to really work, right, rather than just staying at home, right? So today will be a very interesting topic that most people who want to find out, especially we talk about resale market, resale property. And today I just want to share a little bit more about the trend, especially moving forward. How is it different compared to the past? So of course, I will try my very best to do as fast as I can so that you can actually have more takeaway. The reason why I've been trying my very best to so-called streamline my slides, but I was just thinking that I really want to talk a little bit more in terms of the resale market, and that's the reason why I worry that it may drag a little bit more time. So if really those people who are, if I drag more than an hour, I'm so sorry about that. I will just do my best to share so that you guys can have a better, clearer picture. Especially like what Eddie has mentioned, most of us own a property, and eventually we bought from either the resale market, we bought from a new launch from a developer. So eventually, how do we look at the resale market? So tonight I want to share some of the research and some of the ideas for you guys to know, so that you have a better, clearer picture. If today you are existing resale owner, or you are intending to buy a resale property or a new launch property, and you're still not sure what is the best for you, at least tonight you can have a clearer picture of how the market works, especially those people who want to find out. Especially some people say, hey, the resale volume is actually dropping. Will the price drop as well? So tonight I'm going to uncover all these kind of reasons for you to see. But of course, this is my own research and this is my own analysis. So of course, at the end of the day, it's for you to decide whether yes or no. I leave the final decision to you, because ultimately it's definitely your choice, right? So without much ado, let's get ourselves started, because tonight is a Friday. So I hope that tomorrow, day after, you have a good time, right? So like I mentioned, basically today, whatever I shared, again, just a disclaimer. So whatever I'm talking about is based on my own research and my own understanding. No right and no wrong answer here. So of course, at the end of the day, all my numbers come from where? From URA. It's just that I tabulate the information for you guys to see only, right? This is what I do. So today, this is my scope. You can see that why resale property volume has dipped today. Will resale property prices drop further? Why do resale property price generally stay stagnant after a while? Resale owner, as a resale owner, how do you chart your next plan? What should you be doing? All right. Lastly, how do we look at a properties that is worth to look at? So this is what I'm going to share with you tonight, right? So first question, why resale volume drop? Why is it that the market resale volume drop after a while? What is the reason behind this? Let's see. Of course, there is the latest one that I want to talk about here is the July 2018. Once this announcement come in, we know one thing for sure, that this is a tightening of the what? Cooling measure. When this thing is tightened, what is next happen? The market seems to be what? Slowing down. The market seems to be slower. Why? Because a lot of people think, hey, prices will drop already. So I think I better hold on to it and see what is happening next before I make my decision. And I think this is also the reason why people are saying that. Now, let's see further. I want to show you a chart. Right, this is the private. This is a private resale volume of transaction. I plot the chart based on 2006 until today. If you look at this, if you look at this, let me see. If you look at this, this is the en bloc cycle recovery. If you look at this, so the market volume actually goes up. When it's in recovery, you can see that the volume actually goes up. But due to the Lehman crisis, you can also see what happened. The volume start to what? Fall off again from this downwards. And subsequently, there's a recovery in 2009 because there's a shortfall in terms of the supply. The market start to move forward and you see the volume start to comes up. But if you realize one thing, and from 2011 onwards, the market start to slow down and the volume start to come down. Why is it so? Because that is the first so-called cooling measures start to in place. And it takes how long for it to come down? Almost, look at the number of years. 8 rounds of cooling measure. I believe this period of time, if those people who are in the real property market, right, you probably can see that this is the cycle that create the most hoo-ha. Why? At that point of time, also HDB went up the most. HDB went up to almost 100% based on this particular time frame. Why is it so? If people do recall, this period of time where the population increases the most, but the supply is weak. That's the reason why there is a demand. When there's a demand, there's no supply, what will happen? Prices will start to shoot up. That's why a lot of population went up. If you remember clearly, that time a lot of people complained about MRT, very crampy, no space to stand, if you recall. That's exactly the period, this is what we're talking about. But this so-called 8 round of cooling measure, the most heaviest, of course, is the last one, which is the total debt servicing ratio. That means it control in terms of the purchasing plus seller stamp duty. Of course, these two comes into a place. That's it. All the speculation all gone. Because why? If you want to speculate, no more. So, but subsequently, in somewhere March 2017, the government tweaked the cooling measure. Why? Because there's a supply shortage. Later on, towards my end, I will probably explain a little bit more because of this particular segment here. But the whole idea here, you can see from here, is that the easing of the measures start to comes into place from 4 years to 3 years SSD, the en bloc start to run, right? So you can see what happened. When the government actually relaxed the cooling measure, the next thing that will happen is what? The volume will start to pick up. Every time where there's a measures cooling, volume will drop. Every time there's an opening of the government policy, the volume will start to pick up. That's why you can see 5th July 2018, what happened? The volume started to drop again. Why? Again, because of what? Because of the policy tightening. So you see, the whole market is very simple. In Singapore property, it's very, very simple. I think I asked this question before. Who control the prices go up and down? Anybody can guess. Is it you and me? If those people who knows, I don't, anybody can put inside the chat group or not? See, who causes the property prices to increase one? I do not know. I never going to see the chat here. But I believe you all should know the answer better than me, right? Better not for me to say. But this is how it works, right? Let me see next. So if you look at it, why the resale volume drop today? I just want to take this opportunity for you to understand one thing. When the resale volume drop, that does not mean that the market is just going to come down just like that. Why do I say so? Because majority of the owners today, I believe we have now coming to 2,600 over people who are in this room now. I want to ask all those owners staying at home now, how many of you want to sell your house cheap one? I believe nobody want to sell cheap one. The market has changed. Why do I say so? Why do I actually, during my first part, I talk about the different cycle of the real estate? Why I purposely show you all this, mainly to tell you one thing. The last 8 round of cooling measure, which is the most heaviest one, has actually cleared off all the speculators away. Last time when I buy my property, like I shared with you before, right? My grandma, my mother, my niece, 21 years old, they can buy a property without actually having much income. Why? Because we just show fund 200,000, the bank will grant you the loan. So it become like uncle, auntie, everybody off the street, they can buy property. Very simple. I pass you 200,000, the second person I pass you another 200,000, just to show money, the bank will grant you the loan. So when the market start to drop, what will happen? All those people who cannot hold on to the property will start to what? Throw. So if you look at today, the volume actually start to slow down. That does not mean that the prices will come down, you know. Why? The reason is because why? A lot of them today have a holding power. Why? Because their loan is based on what? Total debt servicing ratio. There is a certain formula of calculation to justify that based on your income, you qualify for how much loan. It's no longer like last time, the speculative mode. That's why you can see why the volume drop. Very simple, ma. If the market drop, I can hold on to the property. Why must I sell? So a lot of people will think, hey, I should wait for the price to drop. To be honest, it's not easy. Why? If you talk about speculative moment like layman crisis period, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, that range, I can tell you, very high chance the price will drop today. But today is a little bit different because most of them buy property, they are looking at already have the bank already has access based on the loan part. So there is a certain amount of holding power there. Next, also because of the seller's stamp duty. Some of the people cannot sell the property because once they sell, they have to pay stamp duty, which is a heavy cost to them. So why must I sell my property at a loss and I have to pay stamp duty? So you may not see fire sales like last time. You can, I mean, a lot of people tell me, you know, last time how the SARS period, you know, the 1997 financial crisis, that period. A lot of people like to talk about the past. But I want to tell you, things has changed. Just like very simple. Last time I do a consumer seminar, we go to the show flat and do. I want to ask everybody, in moving forward, when everything's open up, you will say, Kelvin, please don't go to the show flat. I want to go home and listen to you. Why I purposely must go to show flat? Am I right? So it's the same thing. The buying behavior has also changed. So same thing. People are not looking at the past last time. Last time, I can agree with you because a bit luana, right? But today is different. Today, all the policy, I can tell you, is so tight. It's no longer the speculative mode anymore. And that is a good thing. Why? So that anyone who buy property, they do not need to be stressed over speculation. And that is crucial, right? Especially for us, it's very simple. We are all property owners out there. We don't want to see the property prices just crash this way. And that is the intention of who? The government. The government has never want to crash the market. But they also cannot allow the prices to shoot up too fast, which is not healthy for who? For everybody. So, and that's the reason why a lot of homeowners today, you ask anybody out there, especially mass market owner, you say, why must I sell? I can keep the property. And I can tell you, many of them are affected by additional buyer stamp duty. Like, for example, my mom owns 2 properties under her name. I actually total 3. If I ask her to sell, that's it. If I sell, I cannot buy back because of her age, because I have to pay ABSD. I ask myself, might as well keep the property, let the renter go through. So why the volume drop? Because there is no sellers out there. That does not mean that the price will drop there. Because why? There is no speculators throw out property like fire sales last time. Last time I tell you, in 2008, I really see fire sales. And the fire sales is really quite scary fire sales. I've gone through that period. But today, there is a big difference because of our government policy has done extremely well. That is the key thing. So, and of course, every time when there is a downturn in the market, one thing good is that our interest rate has come down. I'm not so sure, you know, are you aware about the latest interest rate about SIBOR? The SIBOR now has dropped for 1 month, SIBOR dropped to 0.3 something, you know, which is so happy for me because my loan just taken, right, 0.3 plus my spread of 0.2, I only pay about 0.5% interest, which I think is so much better than last time that if you talk about last time is 2%, 2% or 1%. Now it's only less than what? Less than 1% for me. So this reduction of interest rate has caused an impact to many owners out there who has the capability to hold on to the property. And I'm going to show you some of the numbers and why people are actually holding. Because why? Very simple. Can I ask you a question? If your interest rate is low, you have a mortgage and the interest rate is so low, there's a tenant paying the rental for you, why must I sell my property? If I sell, can I buy back? So all these are the people mindset now. So if why I want to tell you all this, because a lot of people thinking, I want to wait for the price to drop. But unfortunately, after wait, still the same thing. I'm not saying that would not be, but it's so difficult to, you must go to the ocean and find one unit that can sell you very cheap. Not easy to find. That's the only thing, right? But I cannot say don't have, but it's really, you must go and do a lot of homework before you can see, right? So, and next, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Look at the interest rate in 2008. That is where the layman crisis come in. You look at the interest rate, lasts for how long? 0.5%. This is how it works. Then, of course, it gradually goes up. And now it has already what? Come down. So, very simple. If you are the customer out there with the lower interest rate, putting money, letting the tenant pay rental for you is better, or putting your money in the bank better. Putting bank, the FD, I can tell you, will be worse. Less than 1% will be the kind of interest rate. I might as well let the money put inside the property and let the renter give it to me better. I think it give me a better returns than to what? To hold on to that property. So this is something for you to take note of. And of course now, worse still, the government came in to what? Intervene. They allows the individual to delay the installment payment for the next 6 to 8 months down the road. So again, any one of us here who has the capability to hold, even you have some issue with your loan now, there's 6 to 8 months down the road for you to hold on to your payment without even paying anything. Why must I sell now? Why must I sell cheap? Of course, I must not say that don't have such situation, I can't say. But it becomes so difficult to find that number out moving forward. Of course, next, let's see. Of course, you look at it, even the developer are already giving what? Same thing, 6 month deferred. Married couple who qualify for the 6 month deferred also given. So you see, all these things are actually helping who? That's why you see every time there is really something that happened, right? The good thing is that the government has done a lot of things to protect us, which I think is very, very good, because why? It helps us to, I do not know, for me, I'm a property lover. I look at my shares drop until like that, I really heartache. But I look at my property, at least it's stable, not and still collecting rental. At least I feel much more better compared to the stocks. That's for me, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that all these are the things that has resulted in the volume of the transaction has what? Slowed down, right? So the next question, this is the most important question, right? Will price drop? Resale price. Today, my portion is talking about resale. Will resale prices drop further? Let's see. Of course, everybody wants the resale prices to drop now, right? So first, we must understand the mindset of a seller first. The mindset of the seller, there are various people. First, investor group. Second, own stay people. Third, upgraders. There are 3 groups of people inside here, right? Own stay, that means they are never intend to sell anything at all. They just want to be happily staying there. Upgraders, of course, those we intend to make some changes to their property. Of course, another group is investor. Investor, unless they are super urgent, they need to sell and cut loss. Then, of course, there's a situation will happen that maybe you can find something really good deal. But I must say that it's not easy today because of the policy that has been implemented through all the cooling measure, resulted that this kind of fire sales has actually slowed off, right? Just for your information. And of course, today, like I mentioned, a lot of investors today, they hold on to the property because of one thing, interest rate low, giving them a high return in terms of the rental income. Because why? If those people has followed my talk before, right? I remember every time the mortgage is compound with who? The principal, the interest. As long as the interest is low, every month the tenant is paying a lot of principal for me. This amount of money is who? Is my money. So the tenant every month save money for you in the bank account, which is your own property. That is the reason why a lot of owners today may not have the intention to sell cheap. That is the reason. Of course, people who are own stay, no urgency. You ask anybody, I don't need to sell. Why? The most I just ask for 6 to 8 months down the road deferred, then I just happily stay in my house. Of course, it will be a bit challenging for some people out there. Of course, I'm saying that if those people really have this kind of challenge, you can opt for a deferred, right? But it does not actually resulted in what? That you must sell off now. There isn't need, right? No need to. Of course, upgrader. There is this group of people definitely want to seize opportunity. So if you look at general, the mindset of the people, likelihood that the price will come down is very difficult based on a different group of people. But of course, the more genuine seller belong to who? This group of people, upgrader. That's why you can see, right, why the volume of the number of unit selling it becomes so low now. Because why? Now only left with upgraders, ma. Those who want to upgrade, that's the reason why they sell, ma. But those who generally have own stay and those who are investor, own a property and they don't want to pay ABSC, they don't want anything, these are the group that won't sell. That's why you see the volume drop. But when the market start to relax again, the government tweak the cooling measure, the volume start to go up. Why? Because the investors start to what? Exit. So when the investor exit, the volume start to what? Pick up. So that is how generally it works. But normally this is a situation. Also, when the market is good at the time, many customers out there like to buy when market is what? Coming in, ma. When the market is good, all buyers very funny one, right? Market is good, every buyers want to buy. When market is not good, they say better don't buy anything. So this is the reason why you see the volume will be different. So this is one of the reasons that you must understand why the volume has what? Slowed down. But you look at the sale, 2007 to first quarter 2009. I purposely take this one for you to see. The price has dropped to $900. I'm very familiar in sale because I own 2 units there. So I have seen the unit of the sale price go up and down. It's like roller coaster one, right? But that is the time I'm telling you. This is a very speculative area. That's why I like that area most, because why? The market up and down also very fast. But unfortunately, when the market down, this property can be like that. But that was the time in 2007 to first quarter 09, because these are a lot of speculators in the 2006, 2007, 2008. That time the policy has not tightened it yet. Until 2011 onward, the 8th round of cooling measure slowly cut all the speculators away. So eventually, it will not be like that in now moving forward, right? Now, the next, if you look at, for example, City Light, you can see the layman crisis period, the drop is very minor, like 13%. It's not a lot. Why? Because a lot of owners rented out the property. Last time property prices drop a lot, it's actually those sub-sale unit. When the market dropped, the sub-sale unit dropped a lot of prices. Last time I do a lot of such things. But last time, that period of time, I just want to share with you, for those people who knows, right? That period of time is where the market is different. Sub-sale market prices will drop quite scary one when the market drop. But those property that is rented out generally hold, not as speculative. Of course, those people who are looking at own stay like Simei Green, you can see, right, the market will actually be what? Very little, only 6.88% drop in terms of what? Prices. So you can see very well that own stay prices will drop very small. Speculative area prices will drop a lot. But that was the past. But now moving forward, you can see it's a major difference. Now, I want to show you this. This is the overall private resale prices fluctuation based on the different cycle. So if you look at it here, this is the time in 2004 SARS period. This drop, 2002, dropped $69 per square foot. Subsequently, it went up to $279. Then Lehman crisis dropped $126. This is the time that does stop the price, keep on moving upwards. Went up to $591 per square foot. Until this guy came in, the last round, pushed the price come down. But subsequently, it went up again. But I want to show you one thing. If you observe carefully, let me show you. If you look at this point, why is it that the last 2 cycles, the number seems to go up more? This cycle seems to be so much lesser. It's 6 years, it only went up $100 per square foot, right? Why is it so? The reason why is it so much different is because of this guy called cooling measure here. This cooling measure has caused all the speculators to what? Exit. So there is no more speculators in the market, and that's the reason why the prices tend to go up slower for the resale market. It become more stabilized. The good news about this is what? To every one of those people who are intending to buy resale property, the good news is the price are stable. The not so good news is the price doesn't move up as fast as possible. That is the differences here and there, right? And I break it down to CCR, that means Orchard area, core central area. You look at the numbers. First two rounds, you see the cycle is very cute one, right? Here, 700, 800. You see the drop can be quite scary one, right? You see the drop. CCR is like that. Orchard area, the good thing is what? When the market goes up, the market can go up very fast. But you see, this one can go 700, this one can go 800. Why the last cycle only 200? Why? As I mentioned to you, the buyer behavior has changed. All the speculators has gone. So everybody is stuck with this cooling measure, ABSD, seller's stamp duty. That's the reason the price has become what? More stabilized, which is what the objective is for the government. The government already very clear. I want the property to be stabilized, but not in a spike. And that is the objective of how the resale market works. Next, right? This is CCR. If you look at RCR, same thing. 300, 600, 187 for 5 years. 5 years to make $187 per square foot on average seems to be very small, right? Actually, it's quite small. So that's why, of course, this is overall, right? But may not equate to every single property. So we have to go deeper to see. But what I'm trying to tell you, again, the last cycle shows you one thing. This egg cooling measure has resulted the price to be more stable for the resale market. So, of course, as a resale buyer, as I mentioned to you here, the good news here is that at least you know very well that you are what? Safe. There is no huge spike. That is what I'm trying to tell you here. OCR, $87 per square foot. Look at the last two. That's why you see this one, you see if don't have the 8 round of cooling measure, I tell you this one will keep going up. 500, 600 will keep going up. That's why the last one, TDSR, ABSD 16%, SSD 16%, kill everybody away. So all the speculators has been wiped off. Left with those who are genuine, who has the holding power, who has the capability to buy the property, will buy the property. But if you look at the long term per se, you can see that the property prices generally, right, the down is actually very small, but the up is always quite high than the drop. So that is a good news for all those people. That's why you can see these two period, down 67, up 87. So you can see what? It become much more what? Stabilized. So for those people who don't want to, who wants to be very comfortable, don't have stress, then probably resale market become much more stabilized. So it depends on your mindset, your situation. What do you really want? Then you make a decision from there, right? But at least you know one thing, why the prices are done in this way. Mainly, I believe most of the people who have seen this chart, I just want to sum it up for everybody to understand this. This is the successful of all the cooling measure has been in place. With all the government, very simple. When the market start to tighten it, the price start to what? Slow down. Then when the market start to goes up, of course, they will tighten. When the market start to slow down, they will open up the policy. So at the end of the day, if they don't do anything, what will happen? The prices will keep going up. So what they are trying to do here is what? To ensure stability. So throughout what I've just shared with you just now until now, I just want to tell you that this current cycle, do not expect that the volume will go up. Do not expect the prices will fall. Reason is because of this 8 round of cooling measure has caused the stability of the property prices. So if you expect the market to have hoo-ha out of it, I just want to share with you here, is very unlikely. The reason is because there is no more speculators in the market. But maybe 1 or 2 out there you probably can find. But that is really must go to the ocean to swim and find, which is not so easy, right? Unless you are very, very focused and one day you manage to find that unit out, which is not easy. But if you look at it, generally, the resale market is what? Stabilized. Which I think, if you agree with me, the government policy is the right thing. They just want to ensure stability for all of us. But when it comes to situation like this now, COVID-19, the government also come in to help who? Homeowners out there. So when all these things are balanced out, that's the reason why you can see that generally the property prices will also be what? More stabilized like last time. Last time is 政府没什么来 non来 right? That's why the prices can be this way, right? But last time is different. Now I want to tell you, government has run through many rounds of different cycle. That's why the government way of now doing things is very simple. They will let the price go up, but gradually. It will not be like last time, boom, one big spark. May not. But long-term wise, you will still be happy because why? The property prices will still go up. That is the good news, right? As long as what? Holding power. That is the key, right? So just want to let you know, the whole market has changed. I just want to share with you, this thing is rather important because this is the January 2011. This is where the start off of the first cooling measure. And this is the last one that came in to jam everything over, right? Last time as an investor myself, I also invest, but I only invest in the resale market. Why do I only invest in resale market? Because there is no seller stamp duty. I can buy now, few weeks later, I can sell, 2 days later, I can sell, 1 month later, I can sell, after completion, I can sell. So I don't want to buy new launch. Why? Because new launch market must wait for 3 years. And I can tell you the prices won't go up after 3 years one. But now it's a different ball game. Now people are looking at long-term 3 years. So if you ask me, I switched to buy new launch more. Why? The new launch market allows the developer to help me to what? Change my prices or increase. So the whole ball game of buying properties for me, right, has changed a lot. That's the reason why in the past, new launch is never my market. This is my market because I like to buy fast and sell fast. That's how I do. Those who are in the market for long, you agree with me. Last time we always buy resale market one, right? Resale market in and out, we can be so fast. But new launch are very difficult, very slow one, right? Until it TOP, then the price will spike up more. So that's the reason why we don't want. We want to have fast game. So that is the reason why a lot of things has what? Change, right? So that is for you to understand that the whole market has switched because of this cooling measure in 2013, which is the very heavy because of the seller stamp duty. Seller stamp duty is one of the killer, right? Nobody want to pay 16%. Those who pay ABSD plus 16% on it, you're almost gone already, right? So that's the reason why, as I mentioned, if you want to find so-called fire sales in the market, not that you cannot, it's really not as easy. Because why? Like I mentioned to you, all the speculators are already not in place. Not like last time. Just for your information, for you to understand how the resale market works, right? Next, why resale prices generally stay stagnant after TOP? Why is it so? Let's see. Like I mentioned to you before, I'm not so sure some of you may have seen this slide. If you look at it, those who buy a new launch for $480 per square foot, they went up to 1280 per square foot, but subsequently stagnant. This is centuries. But you look at Court d'Azur, same thing. Those who bought early $640, today they can sell average $1,004 per square foot. And subsequently, it becomes stagnant. But why is it so it becomes stagnant? Why the property prices, like after resale rate, after the property TOP, why the property start to hang on until there and doesn't pick up as like last time they used to be? Very important, my friend. I want you to know one thing here is what? This is the part that is problem. Most people choose to buy their property during new launch this year. They just need to sell at $1,004 per square foot. They make money. So if you buy at $1,004 here, if you buy something at $1,004 here, what will happen? $1,004 here. If you buy something here at $1,004, what? You need to sell at how much? 1,600. But there is 500 people who are staying here who bought the price at $600-700 per square foot. They don't need to sell at 1,600 per square foot. They just need to sell at what? 1,400. Can they make money? They can. So the whole idea here is what? They just need to wait for this particular position. Unless what? The only way that the property prices can go up this way is what? Anybody interested to find out? If you're interested, you text in the chat group, let me know whether you're interested or not. Huh? Nobody interested. Interested, right? Okay, good. Then at least I can tell you either yes or no. Because why? It's also very important for me. Let me clear all this thing. It's definitely very important, right? Why is it so? The only way that you can actually do this is to become the committee member of your MCST. So that you can go to the MCST and tell everybody, please don't talk about maintenance fees anymore. Talk about selling price. Everybody, right? Go and say, hey, let's sell 1,004 per square foot. Then what will happen? Once someone sell 1,004 per square foot, all the resale owner will say what? Oh, no more 1,004. I want to sell 1,005 anymore. I want to go sell 1,006 anymore. No more 1,004. Then the price will what? Check up. But if everyone is selling at this price, what happened? If everybody is selling at the 1,004 per square foot, that's why the prices cannot go up. And the most important why the prices cannot go up, because of valuation. The bank cannot match the valuation. Even you want to sell 1,006, if everybody is selling at 1,004 per square foot, the valuation cannot match 1,006. The price cannot go up unless someone go in and buy 1,006. I tell you, once the properties go to 1,006, every owner out there will say, no, I want to sell 1,006 already. So this is the reason why how the resale market works. The resale market, the problem here is why the prices cannot move up as fast after TOP, because there are a lot of owners' choices to sell. I want to sell 1,004, I want to sell 1,350, I want to sell 1,410, I want to sell 1,420. So everybody become what? Stuck at that position. Unless market what? Push up. So that is how it works, right? But if you look at it clearly, then what's the difference between new launch? So like for example, new launch, right? Queens and Commonwealth. You look at this. At this point of time, 1,003 and 1,005. If those people who bought Queens 1,003 per square foot, their prices is what? Flat. Hey, can you imagine that you buy a property for the last couple of years, you don't make a single cent. 5-6 years is almost the same price. But at least those people who buy the Commonwealth 1,005 still got go to 1,008. Right? You see, very important, my friend. Choosing the wrong assets, your money is not working hard for you. But if you choose the right asset, your money that you put in there, right, can give you very good return. That is how it works. That's why you can see Commonwealth Tower, those who can make 300,000, 400,000. I mean, honestly, for the number of 2014 and 2018, only how many years? 4 years. 4 years to make 300,000. I want to ask every one of you here, for those of you who are working for people, 4 years, how to save 300,000. I'm not so sure about you guys here, right? How to really stay to save 400,000, 300,000. Don't say 400,000. Don't say 300,000. Just by working hard and save 200,000, honestly, it's really not easy. Why? Because we have our children's education, our car, everything's here and there. At the end of the day, what happened? Actually, at the end of the day, really not easy to save money. I mean, this is not because I say so, it's because I have met many different people. They share with me it's not easy. I know very well because I also work with people in the past too. That's why it's very difficult to save that kind of money unless property owners like them who really buy at the right time, exit at the right time. Buy is important, my friend. Exit also very important. Why some people eventually buy and still don't make money? Because the exit timing is wrong. That's why they don't make that kind of money. That is also the reason. So exit is also very important. Knowing when to exit, my friend, is important. That's why I'm saying, if there's a chance for you to exit, don't be too greedy. Don't be too greedy. If there's a good chance, exit. Come back again, next time buy again, right? Always remember my theory. One of my theory very important to every one of you. Make sure you must give some other people make some money. Don't kaki jiaga liao, right? You must always give people a chance to make money, then you make money. The whole cycle must work this way. You must make some, give people make some, then the whole market will what? Move, right? So cannot be what? Everything you eat, cannot. So remember, timing. That's why I see a lot of time people choose to be greedy when the market goes up. That is the truth. Right? So you look at the other one I just shared with you, you see Caspian. You see, if this owner from Caspian owner sell, right, and change their portfolio to buy Bartley Ridge. You see, the blue color is Bartley Ridge. They make again. But they choose to keep the catchment. What happened? The price stagnant. So that is how it works, right? Of course, there are a lot of situations can happen. That's why for those people who has been following me throughout all these seminars here, right? Someone was asking me about bankrupt, unemployment, small business. I can understand all these things. That's why I always tell people, remember, we are not teaching people to speculate. All our agents today, they actually have a calculator to help you to work called the RAM system. The RAM system is able to help you to work out what is the worst scenario. What if I'm not working? What if? If we keep thinking about bankrupt, then that is dangerous. Then you better don't do anything, right? Of course, a lot of things we cannot plan, but we cannot be planning ourselves to go bankrupt. That's also not good. So a lot of things we cannot what? We cannot plan everything ahead what's going to happen, but we must always have a safety net, a safety plan. As long as you plan carefully, make sure you have at least 1-2 years of 1 year, maybe that kind of reserve fund, then at least it make you feel comfortable. Really, of course, at the end of the day, my friend, I just want to tell all of us here is that we cannot speculate. Property must have long-term. Hold on. If the market come down, I just hold on to it. The interest rate anyway is falling. When the market come down, interest rate fall one. You know why? Because businesses depend on borrowing of funds. When the borrowing of funds is high, businesses are not doing well, they'll be in trouble. So that is also one of the reasons why you see today why the interest rate has dropped, because the federal has actually dropped the interest rate to support the business growth. But to us as a property owner, we benefit because the interest rate dropped. So this is the reason why you must be what? Must be careful, right? Important. Just like, for example, look at Seaside. 2006, those people during July 2007, when the market started to tweak the cooling measure, when the government tweaked the cooling measure, nobody dare to go in. But when people go in, now today rent up to 2,001 per square foot. Look at this unit. Look at this unit. 1623 bought at 1779. 2323 bought at 2099. From July 2017 until this. So as a property buyer who bought during the initial phase, 16th floor, the difference for this is how many different floors? 4 floors, 7 floors. 7 floor difference. 7 floor difference is almost 190,000. So what am I trying to say here? Sometimes this is the reason why it's so interesting for developer. For new launch, the market price generally are being pushed up by who? The developer. If now I'm the 16th floor owner, I don't need to sell anything higher. I just sell the same price as 23rd floor. Will I make money? That's it. I don't want to be too greedy. I just sell at 2,000 because why? 23rd floor, that owner will want to sell at how much? 2,003 per square foot, right? So as long as they sell, then of course we have the benefit of it. Of course, end of the day, maybe this is not a good time to sell yet also because market has not stabilized. But that does not mean that the 23rd floor will make money. No, the 24th floor also will make money. But when the prices go up, everything will move upward. But the 16th floor will tend to have a chance to what? Exit. But the 16th floor may be also what? Greedy, Wow, 23rd floor asked for 23,000, 22,003. I better also sell at 2,002. Hey, then maybe your one will be difficult to sell. So again, so important is what? Is to look at what? Appreciation. So of course, for those people who really want to look at properties, depend on your situation, depend on what you want. If you're looking for capital appreciation like this, generally it will have a push up based on that, right? So it depends on the size, depends on the unit. Some of the bigger unit can, this is only 592 square feet now. 592 square feet for less than 2 years range, you can make 200,000. Is it a lot? It's a lot, right? So, of course, if you look at Martin Modern, another example, 5th floor and 4th floor, look at the difference. Just $419 per square foot difference. The difference is amount is 700,000. If you are the 5th floor owner today, you'll be very happy because why? You sit there, do nothing, you make $500,000 easily. You just need to sell at 2,005. Can you make money? Can. You just need to sell at 2,004. Can you make money? You can. That already give you a what? Assurance that at a good time, people are willing to pay for that price. So this is how people believe when the time is right, I will pay. So you see, from November 2009, the guy who paid the unit. This is July 2017. The owner bought 2,001 per square foot. 2019, later part of the time. That's why I'm saying this. I want to tell you, my friend, it's very interesting is what? The developer can control the prices to go up. And the best thing is what? For developer, you need, even you sell at this guy who bought at 2005 per square foot, the bank can match the value. So when the bank can match the value, it allows us to exit later on at the same price, 2005. Why make money? Whoa. So this is the difference between what? The new launch market and the resale market. Why people choose new launch today? Because the developers stitch the prices upward. So eventually what happened? I who went in early to buy something, I will stand to benefit because the developer help us to what? Push up the price. But of course today, the market is this situation. The developer dare not stage up the price for you now because why? They're also trying to sell their price. But you know very well that when the market is down, the number of units sold will always be slower. Not like last time when the market good, wow, chong, one day can sell 70% away when the market is good, unless the price is right, right? So that is the reason why for those people who are interested in buying property, I'm not asking you to buy or to go and see now or whatever, but I want you to go and open up your eyes to see what? To research, to look at numbers, whether it makes sense or not. I leave it to you, right? And resale depend on what? Valuation. New launch don't need to depend on valuation. That's why the fifth floor can still go at 2005 per square foot, whereas the other one sold at 2001. The bank can still match the valuation. Why? Because for developer and the bank, they can do so. But resale market cannot. For resale market, in that kind of situation, $400 PSF difference, that means that the customer must cough up the difference in the amount in cash plus the 25% down payment plus whatever above valuation, these two amount, cash must add up together and pay to the bank. So who will want to pay above valuation in today's market? No one. That's the reason why you can also see that the general market for resale become what? Slower and more stagnant in moving forward. So this is something that you would like to also what? Take note of how the market work for resale and new launch, right? So next, and of course, how developer make money? They do averaging. Some unit they can price lower, some unit go higher. So you see just now the fourth floor and fifth floor, what? This is how they make money lah. So eventually the initial phase or during the downturn, the market is not strong. The prices generally is what? Lower. But when the market start to pick up, the prices will pick up this way. Just like you look at the recent one, today I just saw the paper, right? COVID-19 over, not say over, in China. After the lockdown finished, the Shanghai property and the Beijing property, the top tier property prices start to what? Pick up, right? Because they see a demand of it. So of course, this whole thing here, we do not know how long it will last, right? But probably the next 9 months down the road will be in a slow pace. But it presents an opportunity for people to start looking. That's what I'm saying. Please, to all those people who are here, do not buy property when everybody is peaceful time. I mean, we all want to be peaceful. But if you want to buy a property, it's always during the market is not so certain time, uncertainty time, you tend to get something better out there. It's just for you to open your eyes to go and search what is good, right? That's what I can tell you here. Because for me, this is how I work. For me, this is how I look at properties, how I go and buy. So that's the reason why you must be the first mover. Some people say, Kelvin, should I go and buy the existing property or should I wait for the new launch? Whether is it existing, whether it's the upcoming new launch or whatever, doesn't matter. Most important, the price that you want to buy, does it make sense or not? Is the pricing right or not? Your agent should be able to advise you and show you the numbers to justify whether the price are good or no good. Anyway, they are all trained to see all these numbers that will help you to make a decision better, right? So next, resale owner, what is your direction? I today talk about 3 group of people: EC, HDB, private owner. So depends on what owners you are, doesn't matter, right? I just want you to have an understanding as a resale owner today, what should I be doing? So like for example, the shore residences, right? So if you guys understand this thing, this word called opportunity cost, that means, what do I mean by opportunity cost? That means this owner who bought at 1,001, if he choose to sell at 1,650 per square foot. He will be able to cash out $500,000. But if he choose not to cash out the money, where does the money go to? Inside this house. When the money is not coming out, does it help you to make money? So by right, you have a chance to make money, this opportunity there, but you did not do it. So is there a loss of opportunity? Definitely. Yeah. If I take out $500,000, I ask myself this question: should I save more money? Because some people tell me, Kelvin, I better save enough money before I go and buy my second property. I tell you, by the time you save finish the money, your age is already 50 years old already. So you say, Kelvin, better not old already, better don't take risks anymore. So will you buy? No. So that's the reason why. Or should I create more debts? Ask yourself. So should I take out my profit now? That means that just now I take out $500,000. My profit is $500,000, right? Then I take out another down payment of $200,000 because why? I bought that particular property just now I mentioned to you, right? I've down paid $200,000. I take back $500,000. Total, I take back how much money? $700,000. If I take out $700,000, I re-enter to buy Bartley Ridge in 2014. That is the time when the property is stagnant. If I go in and I take out the money, $700,000, right? If I put the money back, take $700,000, I take $300,000 to buy this Bartley Ridge. Can I exit again to make money in 2018? I can. But if I never do this, my opportunity cost is what? Lost. So I want you to remember this word tonight. Your opportunity cost cannot be wasted. You must see how to use your money to help you to grow more money. Remember, my friend, just imagine if you and your husband or your wife each own a shore unit in 2009. You know how much money you have today? More than $1 million. How you wish at that point of time, right? Same thing. Ask yourself this question. Do I want to just wait to earn enough to buy another property? Or are you going to work so hard for the company? At the end of the day, what happened? You're so working hard, there's only one person making money, which is your boss. Or do you need to help yourself? I only want to share one thing here is what? You must learn how to use this opportunity cost here, the money inside your house, to help you to grow your money. At the end of the day, I'm not asking you to speculate. Like I mentioned, you take out 700,000, you can take out 300,000 to go and buy a property. After that, you still have 400,000, right? I never ask you to spend everything. In the worst, most, you can take another 200,000. I let you do what you decide, right? But what I'm trying to say here is that you must always have what? Saving. My policy is always like that. I try not to touch my own saving if I can to buy another property. I always want to use my existing profit that I can get from my house, right, to help me to what? Move on to buy another property so that I can make money again, like Bartley Ridge. If I sell that shore unit, I re-enter again in 2013 or 14, I make back again this amount of money and sell in 2018, I make 300,000 over here. So what am I trying to tell you here, my friend? How to use your existing profit margin plus your capital to help you to grow. Please do not just keep your money in the house. That is called, not so nice word to use. It's called dead money because it's not growing. It's not helping you to make money. You need to let your money grow and grow and grow. I mean, this is what my experience for myself since I started in 2004 when I started my first investment property until today. So I'm very clear in all these things because why? I preach to you what I do. I'm more kiasi than anybody. That's why I say you must have what? Saving. That's why, like for example, for HDB owner, is it the right time to upgrade? Ask yourself. Because a lot of HDB owners say, I want to keep my property for rental you. I mean, rental you is important, but rental you are people who are 50 years old and above. For your young group of people, please don't just look at rental you. Because the rental you that you get back $1,000, you never save one. You probably spend on food already. You'll probably spend on Hai Di Lao already. You don't even bother to save money. But property you make money, you take out one whole lump sum. You cannot take 300,000 go and eat. You take 300,000 do what? Replan your strategy. Of course, why the HDB market becomes stagnant after a while? Because the property has grown 100%. You know, here I went up 100%, right? So cannot be HDB go up another 100%, right? If we go up another 100%, what will happen? What will happen? If it goes up 100%, Singapore government will face a big problem. Because why? Affordability. Because most of us, 70% of the Singaporean people out there who stay in a HDB, they cannot allow the HDB prices to jerk up. When they jerk up too much, what will happen? A lot of people will complain they cannot afford to own a house. And that is not the right way they should do for Singaporean. And that's the reason why HDB owners out there, if you have made some money, do exit and think about it. Should I exit to help me to grow my property? That's for you to think. That's why I want to take an example for you to see, right? This Punggol 5-room, if they sold in 2012, they can sell for 600,000. But today it's only worth 400,000. From the 2012 until now, the prices have dropped 200,000. For those people who think I want to hold on, a lot of people don't believe probably HDB can lose money. Actually, do you know there are a lot of HDB owners out there also lose money? Because why? HDB owner lose money sometimes because of the CPF compound interest as well. You don't forget that there's an accrued interest, right? So the interest, the amount of CPF you use, there's also interest as well. So you must remember how it actually helps you when it comes to this. But if this owner in 2012, they sell their property, they reinvest to buy new launch in 2012, reverse out. You see, they exit 2019, they make 300,000, 200,000. But that means the guy who exit in 2012, they sell their HDB at the highest price, they make another profit in the private condo. Isn't it fantastic? But if you choose to keep the HDB until now to sell, not only they never make money, they still lose 200,000. Which one would you want? So that is the reason why there is a difference between what? These two different classes. So for you to understand as a HDB owner, what you should be focusing on, what should you be doing, I leave the final decision to you so that you can understand. That's why you see, the next thing is EC owner, right? I take three group of people. These are all EC. Osville is the blue color one, right? It goes up. You see from the day they bought, they went up, right? Then it stabilized. Then look at Aspirina, also went up, then went up, then of course now come down a little bit. La Casa also went up, green color, then it becomes stabilized generally, right? So if you look at the EC owner, most of the EC owner today, if they were to buy during the new launch time, and today if they can exit, they also can make some money. But if you look at it generally, most of the EC, after a while, it becomes stabilized. The good news here is that the property is stable. But the not so good news here is that if you never sell your EC, you never take out your money to roll again, it may not help you to make money. Just like the same HDB, same like private property. You must leverage on what? Your profit margin to help you to grow. Of course, every owner is different. We must understand the profile of the different group of people. Your agent should be able to advise you. Different profile people may require to do different things. So it's always good at the end of the day, talk to your existing agents out there to share with you what are the options available for you before you decide what is your action. What I can tell you here is that those property generally has gone up, has also started to stabilize generally. Won't have big movement until maybe a couple of years down the road. When the market goes up again, they may have a push up factor subsequently, but may not be so fast. All right, that's for you to know. So why did I go through so much all these things with you, right? The only question I want to ask is how much you need to retire. That's the reason why I run through just now all these things from the point, should I sell or should I what, right? Basically is to let you know one thing. How much do you want to retire? Because a lot of people tell me, Kelvin, during my seminars, some of them feedback to me, right? They were saying, Kelvin, actually, you never thought about retirement. I've never thought about retirement at all. Those who are 30 plus 40 years never think about retirement, which is normal. Why? Because now already wanted to make sure that a family can do well, family can survive. Never think until so far 60 years old. But I want to tell all of you here, you must start to think. Because why? By the time you're 60 years old, then you start to think about retirement, then it's too late. Why? Why do I say so? Right? So that's why I'm going to ask you the question here. If you are age 62 years old until the age of 80, if you only have 2,005 income, right? how much do you need to retire? The total amount is $500,000. So if you do not have $500,000, this amount of money, that means at the age of 62, you don't have $500,000. You have a fully paid up HDB at $500,000, also okay lah. But you cannot retire because why? The $500,000 you are staying in the HDB. You downgrade to a 3-room flat, 350,000, you only left with 100 over 1,000. 100 over 1,000, you take 50,000 to do renovation, you left with 100,000. So 100,000, how to retire? You can't. So what will you need to do? Continue to work hard. So what am I trying to tell you here? It's because I want you to be like them. This article says what? I don't get to enjoy the best thing in life now, but I want to let my property to grow so that later on my family, my children can stay in a better house to stay. That's why we call this delayed gratification. I don't get the best thing in life now, but doesn't matter. But I know very well that at the age of 62, I will be better off. Can you imagine this house, landed house? They look so young as a couple, the most 40s. By the time of 60s, you think the property can worth how much? Easily 4 million, 5 million. When it's 4-5 million and it's fully paid up, I fully paid up $500,000 for 5 million, for example. I take 1 million to go and buy my HDB flat. How much money do I have? 4 million. So that is the reason why I'm saying you must start what? To plan now. That's like this couple, right? Binjai, 1650 square feet, 580,000 in 2008, make a decent profit. Right? Binjai, 2008, they make another 200,000. You see, all these people, what? Slowly grow up. I want to tell all of you here, nobody will know the outcome, but slowly, step by step, you will reach there, just like many of them has done it. That's why I want to ask you, what's your age now? What is your end goal here? 62. You need to think. Your end goal eventually is what? Not 500,000. I want to tell everybody, all of you minimum must aim 3 million and above. Why? Because of inflation. So you must set aside all this amount of money there so that you can what? You can have a better retirement in the future. My only objective at the end of this, sharing all these things here so far, right, is only to tell you here your end goal in life is 62. Even today, you buy a property at $1 million, you don't make money 5 years later, doesn't matter. Your aim is 5 years later, you must buy $3 million. 3 million, you still don't make money, doesn't matter. $5 million, the next one. My end goal is not about the profit alone. Your end goal, you must see yourself have $5 million when you are age 62. Because you take a loan, you sure need to pay off. So by the time you pay off, must be fully paid. So your end goal is what? I hope I can fully pay my house at the age of 65 years old or 62. I leave it to you, right? So, but what I'm trying to say here is what? Is to let you know that your end goal must have this X dollar amount, right? This is important. Please think about it. So in order to do that, by working hard can never be rich. The only way you can grow your nest is provided you use your first asset to roll for you, grow your money. That's always my belief. That's why before I continue, just the last part about me, before I go on to the next one, probably take another 10 minutes or so, I should finish. But I want to say, just to introduce myself here, I'm in the business for 18 years, running more than 8,500 agents. This is my little book. For those people who have not read my book, I've never got my book, your agents can actually get a soft copy for you so that you can actually read about my books, right? So of course, I'm also featured in my articles as well, right? So these are some of my properties that I've owned throughout. This is my last property that I bought for my detached, right? But why am I showing all this? Not because I want to boast about my achievement. I just want to tell you here is one thing. All these things is I started at the age of 32, but I slowly built all the way. So I'm telling you this because I want you to think and believe that this all can be done. If you ask me, 18 years old, I started with my HDB. I don't have a lot of money, but today I can grow until this. That is only I want to take this opportunity to what? I want to share this with you. That's why it's important. You must see yourself to reach that end goal in life. That's how I feel. That is my ultimate aim, why I'm so passionate about real estate, because I truly believe all these things. So that's the reason why I really hope that all of you can what? See this happen. That's why I always believe in what? There is a right techniques. There is a system. There's a network for you. Why are we? I believe all this thing is helping me to what? To find the right development, right unit for investment. That's why my tips, this is Sunday Times in 2019, right? February 19, 2012, right? I also being featured as one of the chief trainer for helping people to understand about what properties investment, right? This is appear in investment. So last part, I just want to share this with you is how do we determine this particular thing that I'm going to share with you here. Of course, my whole idea here is that when you want to buy a property, how do you determine whether this property can make money or not? Whatever I'm sharing with you now is just an example. At the end of the day, I hope that you can use this so-called techniques that I'm going to share with you here to help you to go and find another development if you think that it suits you. Whether it fulfill all these criteria, you decide. If it fulfill, then you buy. If you don't fulfill, don't buy. That's how I work. It's like a checklist, right? So tonight, I'm going to share with you all these checklists. The checklist what? First, transformation. Because transformation is one thing that push up prices. Potential upside and risk, whether your price tag is, you're buying a new or old price tag, supply, demand, rental. These are the 5 things that is important. Last part, there is one more part, which is called exit. Now, for example, this development called Marina One Residences. I just take an example for you to work out, to let you see the answer, how I use these 5 things to actually integrate into this development to see whether this property is worth to buy. This property started price is about 2,001 per square foot. Where is the location? It's right smack in this CBD area. These are all white sites and these are not yet developed. So this is the whole marina area. You can see how extensive it is and it's right smack in the CBD area, right? So this is the price 2001. So is transformation critical when it comes to buy property? I want to tell all of you, a transformation is important. But let me tell you, the most important is still not the transformation. It's the price. Transformation to me is a bonus. If I can buy into a transformation area, it's a bonus for me. But I can tell you, price is still number 1. Entry price, not price, entry price. So, like for example, the sale, the Marina Bay area, right? During the before transformation, you know, it was like just bare land. After transformation, you can see that the price has gone up by 300%, right? In District 1, District 2, District 7. That means these are the area in the CBD area, the price has shot up from 300,000, from 300%, right? From 2004 onwards. Even Jurong, because of the transformation, the price has gone up to 191%, even for mass market. So that is for you to know that transformation is another key factor for people to see a change in terms of prices. That is a plus point, right? Of course, you know that our government today has announced the new so-called Greater Southern Waterfront, and this is definitely the next thing in the mind of every one of us here, because this is the 6 times of the Marina Bay area. Now the Marina Bay, just now you see the price has gone up 300%. That is the only one time, but this is the 6th time of it. Can you imagine next time, right? How will the price react moving forward? So that's why I want to say the next upturn will be this Greater Southern Waterfront that you should actually look out for. So what is the potential and risk? We must always understand. How do we look at this? If you look at core central region, this is the core central region, right? Based on $2,001 per square foot price, where is it price come from? Actually, it's here. This is the price tag. That's why I'm saying, is it a new price tag or old price tag? If you are buying at this area, 3,005 per square foot, then it's considered what? Expensive. But if you are buying here, is it expensive or not? 2015. Then you should know. Actually, you are buying almost like RCR price. This is the range, right? So existing property, like for example, current property that has been sold in the market, right? For example, Warwick Residences, Midtown, Beyond Shenton, Marina Bay Residences. These are the 3 that is so-called the new launch, already going about 2009, 3000. Beyond Shenton, 2003. Marina Bay Residences, these are older development. Marina Bay Street's older development. The sale also older development, already close to $2,000 per square foot. These are all average price. So based on 2001 per square foot, from 2001 per square foot onwards, even 2002 lah, is it worthwhile? Let's see. You look at RCR, which is not the central area, not the CBD area. This is the price, 2001. Tanjong Ru, Amber Park, Mayer, Coastline, Mayer Mansion. All this area already has done 2005, 2006 per square foot. That means when the buyer are willing to pay these kind of prices today, are willing to pay. That means that in the future, is this price justifiable? Good time, these people willing to pay. Based on their mind, they are already paying, already transacted. But now for Marina One, is there a price tag that 2001 is it worth for you to see? At least you must observe the price, is it justifiable? You see from here. That's why you can see Park Place. Eddie, there's a voice. Eddie. All right, if you look at Park Place residences.
I'm looking through.
All right.
Done.
Okay, for Park Place residences, for example, this was during the so-called 2018. Even Paleba people can pay $2,000, 1,009, 1,000. Of course, there's some 1,007 bigger unit, right? So you can see what during this kind of time, people willing to pay. That's why I'm saying timing is very important also. Good time, people pay everything, man. Not good time, people will start to see. But the price, is it justifiable based on 2001? Let's see, right? Ulay, same thing. You see, 2019. 2002, 2003, $2,000. This is potong base. That means this type of timing, people are willing to pay this. So based on Marina Bay, just now you see, it's the right smack of CBD, you know. You can buy something like in the CBD grade A office location, a grade A office location, but you are not paying grade A price. So that is why I'm so interested to share with you here, because the price tag is quite so-called reasonable for you to think through. Of course, Tan Quee Lan side haven't launched yet. Their break even already how much? 2.3. So most likely they need to sell 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 per square foot, which already has been transacting in that area for Midtown, and also that some of the development there already done 3,000 and above per square foot. So you can see that based on Marina 1 residences, from the price tag of 2001 plus PSF, is it justifiable in a Class A so-called office area for residential? You decide yourself, right? So Chinatown Plaza, same thing, freehold, easily must sell for 3,000. So for you to know. So another thing is what? This is something very important for all of you to take note of. Supply demand. This is a very important chart that you must know. Do you realize that this time round, the market there's upturn, this last round of market upturn, right? Actually, you realize the CBD area got no movement at all. Why? Because a lot of en bloc government land sales, the red color refer to what? The District 1, 2, and 7. The blue color refer to 9, 10, 11. When there is no movement in the CBD area with en bloc of government land sales, will the price go up? Won't ma? That's why you see the last cycle, a lot of property prices go up is what? Are all the 9, 10 mass market RCR property. But if you look at the CBD area, it's very quiet, you know. But you realize the last government, the action is what? The last action is Greater Southern Waterfront. So I want to tell you, everything there's a cycle one. The next cycle you see, Greater Southern one will have movement or not, you see. And next thing, supply. District 5, West Coast area, the supply of so-called new launch got about 3,004. Of course, the population is bigger, right? That's why you need this kind of demand. District 3, which is Commonwealth area, 5,000. There's also a lot of housing demand there because a lot of owners. These are the 5,000 of new launch, because some people say, wow, so many units here and there. But this is the residential area. District 1, 2, this is the area I'm talking about. Only 262. Because a lot of people say, what if, Kelvin, I buy already, can I rent out or not? This for you to know. There is no competitors around you to go and fight with you. So that will tell you one thing. Your rental is what? Safe. District 7, 700 units. So there's not many units to compete with what? Rental, right? That is important. So why rental? Is it important? Rental demand, very important. And the good news here is what? District 1, 2 has the highest number of rental demand over there. And the size of unit, 500, 600 units square feet, right, is the most popular choice unit for rental. So one thing for you to know is what? You're very safe when it comes to rental. You don't need to worry that can I rent out my unit. These are all the sought after area that they want to rent out, right? That is important. And the rental occupancy rate, you can see for CCR is what? The blue color is 90%. So it also tells you one thing, what? Very strong, very strong. So another thing, I just want to tell you, because this property actually has TOP, right? So I want to share with you one thing. What if the property you bought and today you can only sell at break even? Did you lose money? That means you buy at $2 million and you sell at $2 million during the next 5 years down the road. Will you lose money? I'm not so sure. You see, ask yourself this question. If I buy $2 million 5 years down the road, if I buy another 2 million, I sell at $2 million. My question to all of you here, do you think you will lose money? Think about it, right? I run through because I think it's over, it's 9 o'clock already. Let's say, for example, this is the property that I'm going to share with you here. For example, $2.4 million. This is a Marina Bay, Marina 1 residential, 2-bedroom, 2.4 million. Your rental, I rent it out at $6,000 because the latest rental transactions shows $6,000. So I just put $6,000. So 5 years down the road, you sold at the same price of 2 million, 2.4 million. The question is, do you lose money? Let's see. I'm showing you 2 examples. One is the 2.2 interest. One is the 1.5 interest. I put higher, right? This is what I'm talking about. If I rent out at $6,000, my principal, I base on 1.5, zero growth, zero, $6,000. My principal, the tenant saved $3,900 for me, almost $4,000. My interest is only $2,200. That means my $6,000 that the tenant pay for me, $2,200 has covered the interest. Anything above is whose money? My money, right? So next question. So your money installment is $6,200. So I need to top up $200. This $200 every month you top up. You ask yourself this question. If you cannot afford to pay $200 every month, then don't buy this property. But if you can, this $200 that you pay down payment, because why? Your rental is $6,000, your rental is $6,000, your mortgage is $6,002. You need to top up $200, right? This $200 goes to where? Go to your principal. So this money is not lost. This money just go to where? Saving bank. So saving. That's why my book is about what? Property is a saving. So it helps you to what? Save money. That's why you see for a 1% growth interest, that means let's say we talk about only 1%, right? Your principal, if you don't understand because I'm running a bit fast, don't worry, your agents can explain to you if you need to, right? So I calculated based on 5 years, based on a principal that I paid $3,900, I tabulated 5 years, I have saved how much? $246,000. If I make 1%, that means I bought at 2.4 million. My capital appreciation based on 1% growth, 2.4 million of 1% is 24,000. 24,000 times 5 years is 120,000. So this amount, if I add up together, is how much? I will take back a total of how much? My return of equity is 52%. If I divide by 5 years, I actually have 10.5% return. Now, just now I mentioned to you, if I don't have, if let's say for example, let me see, where am I? Okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you here. Oops, sorry. Okay, let's say for example, this is principal, right? If it's 1%, if let's say for example here, your capital is 0 because you don't have any capital gain. Just now I mentioned to you, if I sell back at 2.4 million, did I lose money? If there's no growth in my property price, that means here I don't make a single cent out of it. I don't even have 1% growth. At least I still have principal, which is 246,000. So did you lose money? Actually, you never. You still have made 246,000 over here. Of course, you will talk about stamp duty here and there, then we minus off, right? I don't want to go into the small detail. But I'm telling you here, if it's 1% growth, this figure 246 plus this, you will have the profit margin out of it. So in total, it's 10.4% per annum. Is it better than your FD, which is 1%? That's what I'm trying to tell you here, right? So this particular development based on Marina 1, the attractive part is what? First, you can get rental income. Second, you can also actually buy a property based on 2,001 per square foot. From 2,001 per square foot, you have Amber Park, District 15, District 3, 2,007, District 2, $3,000. South Beach also they have done $3,000 over dollars. The future of Tan Quee Lan will be even more kind of prices as well. So based on 2,001 plus PSF, is it a fair value for this grade A office location? That is for you to see whether it makes sense or not. Are we paying a future high price unit? That is for you to know, right? I believe some of you have already seen a lot of properties. You probably can understand this price, whether is it justifiable or not. So to sum it up for MOR, the good news here is that what? it has the lowest per square foot in D1 and 2. You enjoy rental income. Of course, there's some deferred payment scheme. For this, you please ask your agent to explain to you if you want to know how it works, right? But the good news here is that first is from the developer, you buy cheap. And if the market still runs subsequently next time, the developer prices eventually goes up, you can still what? Make money. Because the most important, people ask me, Kelvin, if I buy this and it considered resale, will the price still goes up in the future? Depends on what price you buy in during the first phase. All those people who bought in Marina One, honestly speaking, right? There is a up of 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008 also have. Now the prices has come down because of what? Because of the current situation. So is there an opportunity for you to go up again in the market? Then it's for you to what? Decide to see whether got chance or not. I leave it to you. But at least you can see what? The most important is still what? The entry price you buy in. Is it safe or not? That is the key. Even though, like I mentioned to you, just keep it for rental is also a lot of money, right? It's just a good sum of money. So last part, very important, exit. Like I mentioned before, I'm not so sure some of you have attended before, but I just want to quickly explain to you why this is the number of unit that's going to be what? TOP collect key. This was one of the old chart. But I'm trying to use this to explain to you how the government worked. In 2017, the government relaxed the cooling measure. That's why it causes, that's why the market start to run in that point of time. Because the government released the cooling measure in such a way that 4 years SSD to 3 years. That's why markets start to run. But why? Let's understand why did the government do that. The government do that is because there's no supply here. You see, coming down. If the government don't do anything, what happened? The supply will go weak. When the supply become weak, what happened? When there is no supply, there's demand, price will go up. So what the government do is very simple. They turn on the tap. They allow the cooling measure, they ease the cooling measure, 4 years to 3 years. Developers start to go in and buy the property. As a result, it create what? This supply come out. It created this supply. So my question to you here, now I combine these two things together. This is the latest chart. This is the latest. Up, down, up, down. Real estate is a what? Cycle. But I want to ask you, my friend, when do you think that the government will tweak their cooling measure? Is it 2024? Can they tweak then? If they tweak then, what happened? Then their supply will be what? Weak. If you realize the government, the way they do things now, right, is very simple. They need to have the supply because the population is increased. So in order to do that, they just need to calibrate. The last round, just calibrate one thing. 4 years SSD to 3 years SSD, the prices start to shoot up. Volumes start to pick up. Just need to tweak one. The thing goes up. So when will likelihood be the government want to tweak? If you ask me, very high chance is here, 2022. I'm not so sure. Maybe early, maybe late. I'm not so sure. I hope it's here. I hope it's here. Honestly, why? If I buy a property in 2020, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, my SSD is over and I can sell. Normally, when the government tweak the cooling measure, the price will not shoot up immediately. The last cycle, it took 1 year, 3 months to July 2018 for the price to slow down. So if I look at the time frame of 1 year, 3 months period, the next cycle, when they open the door in 2022, I hope, if I buy today, 2020, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, my target to sell my house is when? My target to sell the house, I hope is here. Then I can exit. They have to. Why? Because to build a house take how many years? 3 years to 4 years. So if they release the cooling measure here got 1 year, 2 year, 3 years for them to build. So it will not create a fluctuation of supply. So it will become what? A more gradual. So I hope that all of you can see this. Because why? We now need to know one thing. To buy a property, we are looking at what? Seller stamp duty. So I hope that if we buy here, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and we can exit, just nice. This is what I hope for, right? Of course, I'm not a God. I cannot say yes or no to you. But Why I say so is because development take about 3 years, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. By the time the supply should be good enough to let it go up again. You look at here. If you look at this current situation here, it's the same. They released the cooling measure when? 2017. They release here. They release here. They release here. The supply shoot up this way. Just 1 year. 1 year. 2018. They turn it off. Why? They turn it off in 2018 because why? They have a huge supply here already. That's how it works. So that's why I'm saying that all of you must take note. If you buy today, you need to hold for 3 years SSD. So if we can time it nicely, I hope that you all can sell in 2023 and you can make some money out of it. That would be the best. Then we turn again and we roll again. So that is what I feel that it should be. Of course, no right, no wrong answer. Please don't quote me. This is how I feel, right? So like this is also another portfolio for you to see. Is some news article. Really, you see, bought a Ferro Road. These are the people who really grow their funds through what? Assets. So eventually they rented out, you see all their properties are rented out and they can still collect rent. This is what they are hoping for. Can you imagine when they're each 60 years old later, will they have a better retirement account? Look at this couple, same thing. Also same thing. Make some money, go into property. So these are all the proven cases of people who actually own assets. So if you can go in and start to plan yourself for your next property purchase, or go and speak to your agents to find out what is the best for yourself, because every clients are really different. You really must plan ahead so that you know what is best for you, right? So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for staying with me for those 3,000 over people. I really thank you so much because I hope that I'm not dragging your time, but really appreciate for you to stay with me. Thank you so much for you. I hand over to you, Eddie. Thank you. Right, Eddie, thank you so much. I hand over.
Yep. Thank you, Kelvin, for sharing so much data. So I'm just trying to check in the Q&A if there's any question. Okay, so just now you mentioned about exit, right? So some of the participants, they are saying is that currently they own a resale private property and they find that the private property is not giving them any profits. Should they switch? But then they might not have enough funds to switch over to another portfolio. What do you suggest?
Of course, I really cannot tell you, but I believe that your agents, sometimes even I have to sell, maybe don't make money, does not mean that I will lose money in the future. I have a client which I asked them to sell that time at a loss, but eventually they bought another property that I asked them to buy. Eventually they make back even more money from the other side. So important, my friend, is before you decided what action to do, you must first find out what is available property that I can actually see a growth. That's important. I always advise people, before you start to sell your property, please make sure you find something good first before you talk about selling. If not, please don't sell a property. I'd rather you keep. That's what I feel.
Thank you. I think that's a good advice. So the next thing is that they are mentioning is that for all the owners that's planning to earn multiple properties, right? How do they overcome the ABSD? Because you showed the numbers is that the gain, right, is getting lesser and it takes more years for them to recoup back. So if they are asking you, is it still worth it to buy in with ABSD?
Of course, like I mentioned to you here, a lot of rich owners out there or buyers out there, they still pay ABSD to own assets because they are not looking at the short time frame of 3 years. They are looking at the time frame of 5 to 10 years down the road. And also because these people who are paying ABSD, they are more matured in themselves as age. They are not speculators. They just want to own assets and let the property runs with rental. Just now, if you have seen my calculation, right? All the resale unit, eventually you rent out the property. There's a good principal amount of money that is being saved by the tenant. And if the tenant actually save all this money for you, will it actually helps you in the future to accumulate wealth? And if you look at, of course, some articles says that the property prices eventually go back by 2030 to 100%. I do not know. But I don't want to say yes or no. But if you look carefully, just now the example, if you pay ABSD, but if you can rent out the property for the next 5 years down the road, we have never calculated whether you make money your rental return is already 200 over 1,000. But if you have a profit of 1%, it add up together will be 300 over 1,000. Will that be enough to cover your ABSE? But 1% growth a year, is it very little, which is 24,000? That is a very conservative way of calculating for me. So if you were to look at this, will it be able to offset your ABSD? Then that is for you to see. Of course, if you rent the property for long, not only the principal amount that you have saved a lot by the tenant, you already cover your principal plus your profit margin down the road. Yeah.
Thank you, Kelvin, for sharing us in the numbers perspective of even though the price may not have increased, there's still substantial savings locked into the current asset. We just need to unlock it and make it into live money to make it like what Kelvin mentioned about dead money. Okay, there's an interesting question I think is quite interesting because you have done a lot of research, right? Is there any mistake that you have made in your own personal portfolio and what was the lesson you learned out of it?
I think generally, of course, you see, like what I mentioned here, like one of my property last time when I bought in a Watermark, right? Of course, I did I regret it or not? I cannot say yes or no. But if let's say, for example, I bought my property at that point of time is 1,006 per square foot, right? 1,006. Actually, 2007, I bought this for 1,006, but it went up to 1,700 plus. But I did not sell because I feel that only $100 plus per square foot, I'm not enough. So I want more. But unfortunately, because of Lehman crisis, the price dropped to $900 per square foot. But I tell myself, if I were to sell and I go in and buy $900, I will make back one more time. That is one of the things that I go in. But did I regret it? No yes or no wrong, no right, no wrong answer, right? But of course, if I have a choice, I exit, I go and buy back another $1,000 per square foot, and I continue to wait for the price to go up, I will make even more money. So sometimes in life it's like that, right? Because of greed, I did not actually sell. But if I can come back again, I will probably make again. Right? So that is one I feel that is one of the mistake that, mistake or not mistake, there's no right or wrong answer. Everything that I do, I learn a lesson out of it. That's important, right? But eventually, I still managed to sell at 2,001 per square foot. So I did not lose. But just that I missed another opportunity cost. Just like I mentioned, opportunity cost. That's all. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelvin. Okay, I'm looking at one. Okay, I mean, it's a personal portfolio question now. So this participant say that they have a three residences, 4-bedroom.
Oh.
So Ethiopia in 2018, do you think that it's time for her to release and then relook into the market, to come back into the market again?
Let's say, for example, the trade residences, right? Whether should I actually exit and go and buy another unit, right?
Yep.
That is provided first and foremost if your property has to make a profit and there's another property that you think that is worth for you to re-enter again to make another round, then please go ahead.
Thank you, Kelvin. I think we covered quite a fair bit of the questions today. So maybe is there anything that you want to summarize and do a final takeaway for?
I can only say one thing, as I mentioned to you, to every one of them out there. My passion for you, all of you, and my hope for all of you here is that I really hope that all of you can see yourself at the age of 60 years old range. You have a very good retirement account, but all this can only be started when? Now. So whatever in the past is all the past history. And I want to tell all of you here is that the SARS periods, whatever, September 1991, September 11, there's those period, or the financial crisis period, these are all the past, right? We cannot take the past to now equate to now because of the cooling measure has already formed up the shape of the property cycle in Singapore. As long as the cooling measure is in place, generally the prices will hold. So that is the reason why there's no more speculators in the market, as far as I can see. All those today who can buy a property, genuinely they can hold long term. So I can only tell you one thing here is that if you really want to grow, you should start to take action and see. Not immediate, doesn't matter, but at least open your heart to go and see things. So hopefully you can find something that suits you, right? I just hope that all of you can see my point. not about just making money, but to see your future retirement to be well kept. I just hope that all the husband and wife, eventually you have a very, very good, or even those who are singles or whatever, you just want to build your retirement fund at the age of 60 years old, you will be happy go lucky. And that is our ultimate aim, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who are staying with me until so late. Really appreciate. I hope to be able to share more with you guys here in the future. So anything, please check with your agents. Anything you're not sure, they will be able to advise you. Thank you so much for all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest. So see you guys again in the next webinar itself. Thank you, Kelvin.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.